Welcome. I'm Moonshine. This is my channel. I'm about to roll the astrological dice and see who's up today. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If it doesn't resonate, don't worry. Okay, always wait for the next message. And if it does resonate, awesome. I also do personal readings, whitneymoonshine@gmail.com. You can find that in the description box below. And you can also find a little bit more information in the About section, okay, on where to find me and how to stalk me and all that great stuff. I recently had a stalker. It's not funny, but it is kind of funny. Anyways, okay. Ooh! I mean, I know that was a really weird read. I mean, a really weird roll, but Gemini is up on the clock today. Hey, hey. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. You by far do not need to be a Gemini sign for this to resonate. It can be specifically for the lovers out there, for a partnership that you're in or you want to create, or could be your moon sign, or anyways, let's see what spirit has to say. All for entertainment purposes only. One. Anything else, spirit? Ooh, we have bird with freedom and opportunity, with oak tree, power, courage, and strength. Okay, so you could be overcoming something. I once got this tarot reading by this old woman. Actually, we got butterfly on the bottom. I'm going to take it too. I once got this tarot reading, and this woman said to me, you know, you are like an oak tree. And I was like, okay, that's weird. Why would you say that? And she goes, well, because it seems that no matter how hard somebody bends you and no matter what they do to you, you stay as strong as you were before the storm, after the storm. And I really, I mean, it's something I've never forgotten. It was, when did I get that reading? I must have been about 27 or 28, I think, when I got that. So 10, 11 years ago now, I think, is when I got that. And I was like, it was one of those readings. Her husband, it was a psychic fair, and her husband was there, and her husband, they were an older couple, and he was like my wife. And he looked at me and he goes, you're a lot like my wife. And I go, who the heck are you? And he goes, well, I'm one of you guys. I just don't read people like that. I read people in a different way. He goes, but you're like my wife. And when I sat down and I spoke to her and we did the reading, I was like, I was very much like her. And I knew why he said that. So I feel like when I got these cards, okay, actually, I opened them up before I bought them to look at the illustrations. And I was like, damn, I really like these. I'm going to buy them. They're actually like, they're beautiful. And then when I got them home and I saw oak tree, I went, that's really weird, because I've bought a lot of oracle cards and I've never got oak tree specifically. And that's what that lady said that I was. So obviously that's a, you know, a message in there for somebody. I never have spoke about that. I never talk about my psychic experiences. I never talk about my readings. I don't personally put a whole lot of like what I've been told, my personal journey, because your journey is your journey. And I think it's very sacred to people. And I don't think that they really need to be telling people about it. Right. So I feel like there is some type of transformation happening and a freedom happening. Okay. And, you know, with this bird card, it's such a peculiar card because there's a vulture on there and there's penguins on there and there's a sandpiper on there. And then it just looks like a normal little, like maybe finch. And it's a very peculiar card because you're like, why would you put all those together? Like, what does a vulture think about all day long? Dead prey. What does penguins think about all day long? Like swimming around and catching fish. What do sandpipers think about all day long? Like, right, eating like beach lice. I mean, honestly, like making food, like freedom, opportunity. I don't, there's just opportunity, I guess, everywhere. Maybe that's what it's going to say. Like, your courage and your power, maybe your power is really going to ignite soon, and that is just going to give you opportunities everywhere. Like, door open, door open, door open. Oh, you thought that door was closed? No, we're going to open it. Another door open, right? It's like, because that's where, you know, you might have had to live in the lack thereof for a while. right? And that's really hard. That's where you gain your oak tree status from, I swear. That's where you get your oak tree from, is living the worst life possible, is being treated so bad and never breaking, like not to a point where you break and you can't come back, like being bent to a point where you think, okay, this is it, like I don't think you can bend me anymore, and then they bend you just a little bit more, right, just to see what they can get away with, but they don't realize that, okay, you might be one thing on the surface, but you're this whole other thing underground, right? You're this whole other thing somewhere else. So what they see as just you is like, that's just one part. That's like, you're like an iceberg, right? Like there's a whole other thing under the surface that you have no idea about. Like you think what you see is me skin deep, but it's not. Right? There is a lot more shit and that's why it's like, it's good not to reveal that kind of stuff to people, because they don't need to know. They don't need to know everything about you. They don't need, I mean, if you're proud of the gifts that you have, then sure, tell people about them. But for the most part, like I don't tell a lot of my shit to people. I don't need to, because every time that I did, I got some type of negative response from it. So why do it anymore? Why tell anybody anything that I'm doing or manifesting? Unless it's something that I openly want to talk about. You know what I mean? You just don't say anything. Fuck the world. They don't need to know. Unless they've got your best interests at heart, they don't need to know. And I can guarantee you they most likely don't. So, Knight of Wands in reverse. That's what I mean. Like, maybe you feel like you're trapped, or maybe you feel like when you do go for things, it's like a quick burnout because you go for them so hard and so fast. But now Spirit is like, there's an opportunity to grow something really big, like potentially a home business. Okay. And when you think about a home business, that is not something that you can, put four pegs in the ground and poof, you've got a business up. It's going to be a lot more than that, which is why you can't use the Knight of Wands to make this work. You have to use your oak tree energy to get this to work, because you need to stabilize it and you need to make sure it's got structure and that it's got the right nourishments that it needs, and it's got the right life inside of it, and it's doing, well. You protect it, right? Seven of Pentacles. This is what I'm talking about. What is she doing? She's growing a garden. Right? You have to tend to the garden as it grows. And a lot of times when you are growing something, it's very necessary to just allow it to do what it needs to do and leave it be. Right? Especially when you do spells, you put things out in the ether, you're not supposed to think about it constantly. The ritual, the invocation, the magic that you do in the beginning is what makes it happen. You still have to go about living your life. Queen of Wands in reverse. This isn't something that you can, and look at that, with the world underneath. Okay? So it's almost like, don't lie to yourself when you think that something is supposed to grow really quickly, or all of a sudden it's going to be like, out of this world right away. Like, has any garden really grown like that? No. A seed is a seed. It still starts from a simple acorn. Okay? There's baby steps. Baby steps. Judgment. Literally. Okay? So you got to be finished with this whole, things are supposed to happen fast. No, they're not. No. You might, your business, your at-home business will definitely ride waves of energy, and it will also take downtime as well, right? It's an up and down thing before it becomes a consistent thing, right? Which would be when you get to the 10 of Pentacles. But even when, everybody knows, even when you're at the top, you got to stay on top. Once you get to the top, you almost got to work harder to stay up there than come back down. Okay? 8 of Wands. Lots of energy and motion. Okay? Page of Cups in reverse. I really think you should give yourself this opportunity, and I think you don't really want to. Right? Or I think that you think that it should be super fast. You know, my mother, she always, you know, like I would vacuum the house one day or something, and she would be like, oh my gosh, okay, so I'm going to put flyers out to the whole neighborhood on Whitney's cleaning service. And people would be calling you all day. And I'd be like, Mom, no. Like, I have a job. I do not want to go and clean dirty people's houses. Like, fucking stop. Right? Because I did kind of know at the same time, if she was going to do that and put that energy out there, that I'm the one that's got to clean up the mess. I'm the one that's going to have to go out there and fucking do all those houses and do all that shit. So you have to be careful when you're going to manifest something, right? Because when it is ready to take off, it's going to take off quick. Okay, you gotta have everything fucking ready. This can't be your first rodeo. And even if it is, trust me when I say, you know, you're gonna get bucked off that bull pretty fucking quickly, alright? So, Ten of Wands in reverse, or Ten of Swords in reverse. Universe doesn't want you to fail. Okay? They know that you've already taken your fair share of harsh endings. They don't want you to fail on this ending. They want you to give yourself an opportunity to change your life. Okay? Oh my God, look what I hold in my hand. Death with the Ace of Swords. They really do want you to change your life. I did see 11:13 on the clock. Okay, this is kind of a little bit divine, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, to have this type of energy of transition come in. And with the Lovers, I feel like that is both sides of you. That is your masculine and your feminine aligning to transform your life, to give yourself this freedom of starting something and knowing that it's going to take some time to grow. But that's why we have time. And that's why we have second jobs. And that's why we have side hustles. And that's why we have partners, right? That's why we have savings, right? You name it. That's why we have a fucking thing called a market, and you can put your house on it and fucking sell it and get the money. There's the start. Beautiful connection. Like, I really feel like this is what you're supposed to do. Okay. 7 of Wands, and, you know, rightly so, defend it. Okay, honestly, because there are people out there that really want to work with you. Okay, and getting the right healing done now and setting the right tone for the experience, that's where spirit wants you to see things. Like, you're taking that Ace of Swords and you're laying with it. You know what I mean? Like, you're taking it to bed with you. Whatever this is that you are speaking or saying, High Priestess, you know what I'm talking about. It's the truth. It's the truth. You've got a lot of wisdom in you, so don't take that wisdom away. You know, don't take what your higher soul is telling you, because your higher soul has a lot of messages for you. And you've got freedom here by being able to possibly work for yourself one day and have people in your family working with you, or your son and daughter working with you, something like that. Like, that would be awesome, you know, but you really have to make sure that you are spitting the truth, okay, and that you're not going to go out and spend money on things that you don't really need, okay, and you're not going to make it look like it's something that it really isn't. Okay. And the harder you work for stuff too, it's like the more spirit really knows that you want it. Right. So whatever this has to do with, and whoever it resonates for, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. You know, take the advice where you can if it makes sense. And if you want a personal reading, let me know. Okay, that's all Spirit has to say for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, it was a beautiful reading, wonderful energy coming in right now. And, you know, that's good for once. So take that, and yeah, always for entertainment purposes only. Okay, if the shoe fits, wear it. If it doesn't, don't worry. And everything in the description box below, with also the about section. Okay, and yeah, have a wonderful weekend. All right, namaste, take care, goodbye, well wishes, and thank you for liking the video. Awesome, see ya.